Hello viewers, welcome to this last session on stereochemistry of organic compounds. In our today's session, we will first review what we have done in our previous sessions, and then we will discuss mainly about the conformations or configurational isomerism of some open chain compounds like ethane, propane, butane, cyclohexane, cyclic compounds, and then monosubstituted cyclohexane derivatives, and then finally we will summarize our today's work. In our previous sessions on stereochemistry, we have discussed about the isomerism. We discussed that isomerism is of two types, constitutional and then stereoisomerism. Then stereoisomerism is further of two types, that is the conformational isomerism and configurational isomerism. We have discussed in detail two types of configurational isomerism, that is geometrical and optical. Today we shall take up conformational isomerism. Conformational isomerism arises in the molecules due to free rotation about single bond. Now, in a molecule there are various single bonds such as ethane. In ethane we find that there are carbon hydrogen single bonds and there is a carbon carbon single bond. Molecule is free to rotate around these bonds, but if we rotate a carbon hydrogen bond, the relative position of any other atom does not change. But if we rotate the molecule across carbon carbon bond, we find that relative positions of different hydrogen atoms, it changes, and this gives rise to configurational isomerism. We define it like this, that different relative arrangements of atoms which are obtained by rotation across single bonds in a molecule are called conformational isomers. They are also called conformers, or sometimes we also refer to them as conformations. In our today's discussion, we shall be using the term conformations because it is most commonly used term. Conformational isomerism is due to rotation across single bonds, as I said earlier, but whether this rotation is really free, let us discuss it by taking the example of ethane. This is a molecule of ethane in my hand. We find that these two carbon atoms are attached by single bond. The hydrogens are attached by single bonds, and I said earlier that the rotation across carbon hydrogen bond does not give any relative change to the atoms. But if we rotate the molecule across this carbon carbon single bond, what we find that the relative position of these hydrogen atoms is changing, and this gives rise to various conformations for ethane. These conformations are not equally stable, they have some difference in their energy, and it is this difference in their energy which causes the barrier to rotation. So, rotation across carbon carbon single bond is not truly free, but the barrier is so small that that much energy is available at the room temperature and molecule can attain different conformations. Now, for any molecule, total number of conformations will always be infinite, because a change of even a fraction of degree in the molecule gives rise to a new conformation. We name some of the conformations which lie either at the lowest of the energy hill or at the top of the energy hill, means which are the most stable or which are least stable. But in between there are large number of conformations and they are not given any specific name. The conformations for any molecules can be easily drawn by using Newman projections. We have earlier discussed about the Newman projection. Let us revise it again by drawing the Newman projection for ethane molecule. You see, as I said that in ethane molecule we can have a situation when these hydrogens are just opposite each other. This is one situation for ethane. This has been named as eclipsed conformation because in this the two hydrogen atoms, these two hydrogen atoms and these two hydrogen atoms, they are eclipsing each other. Means if a viewer is viewing from this side, the front hydrogens and front carbon are just eclipsing the carbon and hydrogens behind them. Now, if we carry out the rotation across this single bond, we are getting different conformations, but we reach to a particular point after the rotation of 60 degree, in which now every hydrogen of one carbon is in between the two hydrogens of other carbon. This conformation has been named as staggered conformation. So, for ethane, these are the two conformations which have been named, one staggered and other eclipsed, and in between these two there are millions of other conformations which are called skew conformations. Now, let us again see. Now, this model represents the eclipsed conformation for ethane and this represents the staggered conformation for ethane. In eclipsed conformation, as we have seen with the help of models before, that CH bonds on one carbon are aligned with the CH bond on the adjacent carbon, means these hydrogen of the two carbons are just opposite to each other. And in staggered conformation, the CH bonds on one carbon bisect the HCH bond angle on the adjacent carbon atom, means hydrogen carbon bond of one carbon is just in between these HCH bond. Now, these, as I said, can be represented by Newman projection. So, let us practice the drawing of ethane molecule in Newman projection. Newman projection is a compact representation obtained by observing the molecule along carbon-carbon bond, and the carbons are represented by a dot and a circle. The carbon which is nearer to the observer is represented by a dot and the farther away is represented by a circle. As we have this model in my hand, simultaneously you will see in the models also, and we are drawing for eclipsed conformation. A viewer is viewing from this side. Right. Now, the front carbon is shown as a dot and the carbon which is behind it is shown as a circle. Then we draw three lines from the center of the circle, that is from the dot, representing these three bonds. Then we draw the three lines from the periphery of the circles representing these three bonds, and then we write the atoms on each of these bonds. So, this represents the Newman projection for ethane in eclipsed conformation. This is the molecule in eclipsed conformation. We are viewing, say, from this side. This carbon now obscures this carbon. Situation becomes like this. This arrow represents the carbon behind it, and then we view this thing. Front carbon 3 hydrogens, and for the behind carbon 3 hydrogens from the periphery. And represent for the staggered conformation, it comes out like this. This is staggered conformation. When we view from this side, it obscures this carbon, it looks like this, and then in line diagram we get this. So, this is the Newman projection for staggered conformation and this is for eclipsed conformation. Now, there is one more thing that we need in these conformations, that is called dihedral angle. Now, what is this dihedral angle? Actually, dihedral angle is not the angle that generally we define in geometry between the two lines. Dihedral angle is the angle between two planes. Now, how do we observe these two planes? Say this is the staggered conformation for ethane, and I have just numbered here two hydrogen atoms, this H1 and H2. There is a plane that is formed by this H1, this carbon and carbon behind it. And there is another plane which is formed by this hydrogen numbered as H2, then carbon behind it and this front carbon. And the angle which is between these two planes is called dihedral angle. As in this representation, this dihedral angle will come out to be 60 degrees. As we see here, this is one plane which is shown with the help of these green lines. using the H1 atom and these two carbon atoms, and then this is the plane with H2 atom and these two carbon atoms. So, this angle is called dihedral angle, because we will be using very often the dihedral angle to specify different conformations for various molecules. Now, dihedral angle in ethane, for the eclipsed conformation, we find that hydrogens are just eclipsing each other, means these bonds are just behind each other. So, dihedral angle is 0, whereas in staggered conformation this dihedral angle comes out to be 60 degree. Now, next let us take about the stability of these conformations. This is, say, we are starting with a conformation in which dihedral angle is 0, that is a eclipsed conformation. We rotate one of the carbon in one direction, keeping this behind carbon fixed, we get this position for hydrogen after a rotation of 60 degree. This is staggered conformation. Then again after rotation to 60 degree, we get another eclipsed conformation. Then further 60 degree rotation gives to staggered, further 60 degree rotation gives to eclipsed, then staggered, and then finally we get again after a rotation of 360 degrees an eclipsed conformation. We have taken one full cycle. In between we have come across one eclipsed conformation after 120 degree rotation, second eclipsed after 240 degree rotation, and finally this. Although these conformations are identical because our atoms are identical, but if somehow we can number the hydrogens, we will find that this is exactly identical to this one. As I said earlier that there is some energy barrier between these conformations. That energy barrier is of about 3 kilocalories per mole in case of ethane. The staggered conformation is more stable by 3 kilocalorie per mole than the eclipsed conformation. So, now what is the cause of this energy difference? This energy difference has been named as torsional strain in the molecule, and it is said that this arises in the molecule due to repulsion between the sigma electrons forming the bond between carbon and hydrogen of the molecule. Actually, these hydrogens are too small to show any type of steric hindrance in this. So, the cause of torsional strain is believed to be that it is some sort of interaction between this electron cloud, between this carbon and hydrogen, and between this carbon and hydrogen. They repel each other, whereas when we go to staggered conformation, these electron clouds are far away from each other and this repulsion is reduced. So, that is why eclipsed conformation is roughly 3 kilocalories per mole less stable than the staggered conformation. Then we can show this energy level diagram for full sequence of rotation that we have taken. We start with a eclipsed conformation, a rotation of 60 degree gives staggered, then eclipsed, then staggered, then eclipsed. So, it goes like a sine wave curve, and every time we find that all other conformations have their energies in between these two. These two are the extremes. As I said that this is less stable conformation, this is more stable conformation. It means if we have some sample of a compound with us, say ethane here, then more number of molecules at any moment will be in staggered conformation and less molecules will be in eclipsed conformation, or in other words we can say that any molecule will spend more of its time in staggered conformation. Now, let us move on to another molecule, that is propane. In propane we have one hydrogen of the ethane replaced by a methyl group and we get propane. So, this is propane. Now, in this propane again we can see the rotation across a carbon-carbon bond, and we will see that one carbon has got 3 hydrogens and another carbon has got one methyl group and 2 hydrogens. So, there can be one eclipsed conformation starting with, and when we rotate the molecule we get various conformation, and when this methyl occupies a position which is in between these two hydrogens, this is staggered, then again we move on to eclipsed and then staggered. So, there is not much difference in the conformation of propane and ethane. We draw again eclipsed conformation for propane like this and staggered conformation for propane like this. And obviously, eclipsed will be less stable than the staggered due to the same reason, that is the torsional strain, and potential energy diagram for these two conformations show a difference of 3.3 kilocalories per mole. That is, the eclipsed conformation is less stable than the staggered by energy of 3.3 kilocalories per mole. And we can show again the diagram for the full rotation, that we start from one eclipsed, after a rotation of 60 degree we will reach to one staggered, then eclipsed, then staggered, then eclipsed and so on. So, this will move like a sine curve again. Let us take another molecule in which two of the hydrogens from ethane have been replaced by two methyl groups, that is, we have got butane. Now, in butane we can have rotation across this carbon-carbon bond or this carbon-carbon bond or this carbon-carbon bond. When we rotate the molecule across any this carbon bond or this carbon-carbon bond, then what will happen? We will get the similar conformation as we got for ethane and propane, because this carbon has got 3 hydrogens and this carbon will have 2 hydrogen and 1 ethyl group. But when we look across this carbon-carbon bond, we get more number of conformations which have been named. If we start initially with this conformation, where the two carbons have methyl groups exactly in the eclipsed position. This conformation has been named as anti-conformation. And now, if we rotate the bond across one carbon, now we will get eclipsed conformation in which methyl group is eclipsing this hydrogen and this hydrogen is eclipsing this methyl, whereas these two hydrogens are eclipsing. This conformation is called partially eclipsed conformation or skew eclipsed. Then we further move and we get another conformation which is staggered, but now the two methyl groups are quite near. This conformation is named as gauche conformation. And then further rotation gives us a conformation in which methyl group is eclipsing methyl and hydrogens are eclipsing each other. This is called fully eclipsed conformation, and further rotation then again gives rise to similarly gauche, partially eclipsed, and then ultimately we reach to anti-conformation, right. So, these are the conformations which have been given the names in case of butane. We find that this conformation, eclipsed conformation, is least stable because here methyl group is eclipsing methyl. They will have a torsional strain. Along with that, now these methyl are bulky groups and they will have some sort of van der Waals repulsion as well as steric repulsion also, because now the methyl group on one carbon and methyl group on other carbon, their hydrogens are coming closer, right. So, this is least stable. Then we obviously have this gauche. Gauche is staggered, there is no torsional strain, but some steric strain is there. Then we get another eclipsed conformation where torsional strain is there because it is eclipsed, but steric repulsion is partly reduced. Now, methyl and hydrogen are against each other. This is the situation as it was in propane. And then we come to anti-conformation. In this conformation, the methyls are far away from each other and this is staggered conformation. So, there is no torsional strain, no steric strain. So, this is the most stable conformation for butane. So, we can see the different conformation of butanes again with the help of this Newman projections. This is anti, this represents skew eclipsed or partially eclipsed. This is gauche, again we get this one the fully eclipsed, again gauche and then skew eclipsed. The position of substituent on one carbon have been kept fixed and we are rotating the carbon behind it. Hydrogens have not been written in these diagrams just to avoid the confusion, because these lines become very close and the hydrogen atoms, they become overlapping in writing. So, it is understood that where we have not written anything is hydrogen and methyl groups are mentioned. We see their energy diagrams. We find that Nt is the most stable. Then after that we get skew eclipsed or partially eclipsed is less stable. Then gauche is more stable than skew, but slightly less stable than Nt, and then we have fully eclipsed, that is the least stable, and following the same order ultimately we reach to Nt conformation after a rotation of 360 degrees. Let us now discuss the conformations of a cyclic compound, that is cyclohexane. Cyclohexane is a molecule which consists of 6 carbon and 12 hydrogen. Each of the carbon has got 2 hydrogens. This molecule is not flat. Had it been flat, then this CCC angle would be 120 degree, but actually after sp3 hybridization the angle comes out to be 109.5 degrees. Similarly, in this situation the hydrogens would be eclipsing each other, that will further lead to instability in the molecule. So, that is why cyclohexane gets a puckering in it, that is, it becomes a puckered ring, and that puckering occurs in such a way so that some carbons, they move above the plane and some moves below the plane, as this is the carbon skeleton shown here. We can see it with the help of model also, that it is the carbon skeleton, that is a puckered ring, and 3 of the carbons are above the plane and 3 of the carbon have gone below the plane, and now this angle is exactly the tetrahedral angle. And second thing that happens in this, that now if we put the hydrogen on this carbon, we find that this hydrogen is going like this, another hydrogen occupies this position, and one more hydrogen if I put, that occupies this position. Now, if we look at the hydrogens, these hydrogens, if view from this side, they are staggered, they are not eclipsed. So, this shows that this type of ring structure becomes more stable, and cyclohexane does not remain as a planar ring, and rather it acquires a puckered structure. If you look at these hydrogens, as I have shown in models also, some hydrogens are going above the plane straight, and some of the hydrogens are going away from the ring, right. These hydrogens are basically staggered position. Then we can see with the help of line diagram and this model that these hydrogens which are going above the plane are on the carbons which were above the plane of the paper, and the hydrogens which are going down, they are on the 3 carbons which have moved little down during puckering. So, it means these are the 6 hydrogens, one on each carbon, which are straight moving upward or downward. These 6 hydrogens are called axial hydrogens, which have been shown in this model by red colors. And the hydrogens which are moving away from the plane of this molecule, these are called equatorial hydrogens, which have been shown here in white color. Now, if we have one cyclohexane ring, it can flip into another cyclohexane ring like this. This is one cyclohexane ring. This carbon is moving upward and this carbon moves downward. So, we get another puckered ring structure, in which now what has happened, that all the hydrogens which were earlier axial, they now become equatorial, and those who are equatorial have become axial. So, we can have 2 different chair conformations for cyclohexane. They are identical in all the ways, they have same energies, but only difference will be if we can differentiate the hydrogens. In one, axial hydrogens are there, they are becoming equatorial. Since all the hydrogens are equivalent, so these 2 chair conformations are equivalent, means cyclohexane can have one chair conformation. Then another movement leads to one more conformation that looks like a boat, and we call it a boat conformation. In boat conformation, we have 2 carbons above the plane and 4 carbons are in the plane. Boat conformation is less stable than the chair. The reason being that although there is no angle strain, because that is a tetrahedral angle, but these hydrogens now on the different carbons are not staggered. On these 2 carbons, particularly this carbon and this carbon, these hydrogens are eclipsed. Means 2 hydrogens on this carbon and the 2 hydrogen which will come on this carbon, they will be eclipsing each other. So, there is some torsional strain in it. And then we have one more type of strain in it. The 2 hydrogens which are there on the carbon, which have moved up like this, one hydrogen here and one hydrogen will be coming on this carbon. These 2 hydrogens are coming closer and they produce some sort of steric repulsion, which is also known as flagpole interaction. So, that leads to further instability. So, boat conformation is less stable than the chair conformation due to 2 reasons. One, it has got flagpole interaction. Second, its hydrogen on these 2 carbons, as has been shown in this model, they are eclipsing each other. So, there is some torsional strain in them. Chair conformation, as I said, is more stable than boat, can be seen with the help of Newman projections of the molecule also. This is the Newman projection of chair conformation. This is the Newman projection for boat conformation, and it clearly shows that these are the hydrogens which are eclipsed and these 2 CH2 group also eclipsed, and one hydrogen on each of these CH2 group causes flagpole interaction. Whereas, in chair conformation it has got fully staggered conformation. So, it is more stable. Then while going from chair conformation to boat conformation, when molecule is flipping, we get a situation that is known as half chair conformation and a twist boat conformation. Half chair conformation is the least stable one, because in this 5 carbons have come in one plane and there is lot of angle strain in it. Whereas, in this twist boat conformation, it is slightly more stable than boat conformation, because due to this twisting, some of the flagpole interaction is reduced and some of the hydrogens which were eclipsed, their eclipsing is partially reduced. So, twist boat conformation becomes more stable than the boat. Again, we can see with the help of this model. This model is showing only the carbon skeleton, that suppose this is the chair conformation we have, then this carbon are moving and we reach to a situation when these 5 carbons have come into one plane and one carbon is above. This is half chair conformation. Then it moves like this. This is a situation. This is boat. This is twist boat. In twist boat, what is happening, that when it moves like this carbon moves slightly away. So, this hydrogen over it, I can show by putting one hydrogen here, that how the flagpole interaction is reduced. You see, now these are the hydrogens which are at particular situation. When it becomes twist boat, these hydrogens are slightly moving away. So, this flagpole interaction is reduced and also the eclipsing of hydrogen is reduced. That is why twist boat becomes little more stable than boat conformation. We will have the potential energy diagram. Chair is the most stable and half chair is the least stable. Then below it is the boat and below it is twist boat. So, after chair it is twist boat in stability, then boat and then half chair. Now, if we have some substitution on cyclohexane, then what will happen? Let us take the example of methyl cyclohexane. In methyl cyclohexane, this methyl group can replace a hydrogen which was earlier axial or which was earlier equatorial. When this is replacing hydrogen at equatorial position, means it is equatorial methyl cyclohexane, it is slightly more stable in comparison to that when methyl occupies the axial position even in chair conformation. The reason for this is that when it occupies the axial position, there is an interaction with the hydrogens at 3 and 5 position carbon with this methyl group. This interaction is also known as 1,3 diaxial interaction. So whenever a bulky group is present on cyclohexane, out of the two possible chair conformation which we discussed, which were identical when only hydrogens were there, but if some group has come, then it prefers to occupy the equatorial position and not the axial position. As we have discussed about the stability of conformation, there are some exceptions to it. I have taken two exceptions here, such as in case of 1,4 cyclohexane diol or in case of ethane 1,2 diol, the corresponding more stable conformations that we have for corresponding alkane, truly they are not the stable conformations for these compounds. Such as in case of 1,4 cyclohexane diol, it is the boat conformation which becomes most stable because of this hydrogen bonding between these hydroxyl groups. So, boat conformation is even more stable than the chair. Similarly, in ethane 1,2 diol, if I compare it with the conformation of butane, where we said that anti conformation is most stable in comparison to gauche, but here the gauche conformation becomes most stable again because of the hydrogen bonding between these two hydroxyl groups. So, this was our last session on stereochemistry of carbon compounds. During these sessions, we have discussed about the isomerism, structural isomerism and stereoisomerism, their types, and then stereoisomerism is of conformational and configurational. Configurational isomerism we had discussed earlier in details as geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Today we discussed the conformational isomerism and we discussed the conformations of open chain compounds like ethane, propane, butane and then cyclic compounds cyclohexane and methyl cyclohexane. Thank you.